Imagine waking up not on Earth, but on a world where the sky glows a pale salmon color, where the sun hangs in the distance like a dim, weakened light bulb, and where the horizon feels both endless and empty at the same time. There's no sound except the hiss of your suit's life support system. No birds, no rustling leaves, no flowing water, only your own breathing echoing inside the helmet. This is Mars, cold, quiet, isolated, but breathtaking in its own way. A frozen desert sculpted by billions of years of cosmic silence. Humanity has wondered for decades if we could survive here, but survival isn't enough. The real question, the one that will define our multi-planetary future, is can we thrive? Not just exist in metal cans buried under dirt. Not just ration water and oxygen like prisoners of circumstance. Not just endure Mars, but build a life here. Form communities, raise children, create culture, dream, grow, expand. The question of thriving begins the moment your boots imprint the Martian soil. Underneath you is a world that is hostile at every level. The air is thin. So thin that even if it were pure oxygen, you'd suffocate trying to breathe it. It's made of carbon dioxide. Deadly, frigid, low pressure, dry beyond comprehension. Your saliva would boil at the surface pressure. Your unprotected blood would bubble. Your tears would evaporate before they could fall. Thriving starts with not dying, which means Mars forces you to build a world from scratch. You need a shelter, not a tent, not a cabin, a fortress. Mars constantly bombards you with cosmic rays, solar radiation, and high-energy particles that Earth's magnetic field and thick atmosphere normally shield us from. On Mars, that protection doesn't exist. Every second on the surface is a biological gamble. Radiation sneaks through your suit, damages cells, mutates DNA. It's not a single deadly blast, it's a slow cosmic erosion, carving away at your body. So thriving means moving underground. The future Martian homes won't be skyscrapers scraping the sky. They will be caverns carved into the regolith, bases tucked beneath layers of rock, habitats sealed beneath domes of frozen soil and water ice. Imagine an entire human city built inside a canyon wall, glowing with artificial sunlight, filled with hydroponic farms, labs, homes, schools, theaters, markets. Mars will not reward daydreamers. It will reward engineers. And yet, the very danger that forces us underground opens a new possibility: control. A controlled environment means controlled weather, controlled seasons, controlled humidity, controlled crops. It means that thriving isn't about adapting to Mars. It's about reshaping Mars to suit us. But before we talk future cities, we need to talk about the disease Mars spreads more effectively than anything else: isolation. On Earth, life is everywhere. Every breath carries the scent of oceans or trees or soil or rain. Mars has no scent, no life, no sound, no wind carrying anything except dust. The silence begins to weigh on you. The loneliness becomes a second gravity. For humans to thrive, habitats cannot be sterile laboratories. They must feel alive. Artificial rivers flowing under transparent tunnels, LED-lit gardens that fill underground chambers with glowing green life, simulated skylights that change color with artificial sunsets, rooms that mimic Earth's breeze with hidden fans and scent diffusers carrying the smell of pine, grass, salt water. We don't just need protection, we need beauty. The greatest danger on Mars may not be radiation, but hopelessness. A thriving civilization needs joy. But Mars threatens more than your emotions. It threatens your bones. Gravity is only 38% of Earth's. At first, it feels like freedom. You can leap farther, lift heavier objects, run without tiring. But the price is slow and merciless. Your bones lose density. Your muscles shrink. Your heart weakens. Your blood pressure fluctuates. Even your vision changes as fluid in your skull redistributes. Mars transforms you, whether you want it to or not. A generation born here might become permanently Martian, taller, thinner, with altered physiology, unable to withstand Earth's gravity. Thriving on Mars requires technology to compensate centrifuge rooms that simulate gravity, exoskeleton suits for daily use, exercise regimens stricter than military training. Life becomes a balance between freedom and discipline. But thriving also means food. Real food. Mars has no soil rich in life, no worms, no microbes, no nutrients, just sterile dust. To thrive, humans must turn Martian dirt into fertile land. Hydroponics, aeroponics, bioreactors, genetically engineered crops that thrive in low light, low pressure, low gravity, plants that recycle carbon dioxide into oxygen while pumping out calories. Imagine tomato vines curling around artificial trellises inside glowing domes, fields of wheat grown in robotic greenhouses beneath the surface, farms humming with machines instead of insects. Mars agriculture will look alien, but it will be beautiful. And then there's water. On Earth, water falls from the sky. On Mars, it hides in the soil, locked in ice deposits or bound to minerals. Extracting it requires heat, power, infrastructure, and if one generator fails, water vanishes. A thriving Mars needs redundancy. Backups for backups for backups. Multiple reactors, solar farms, battery arrays, fusion, eventually. A civilization that thrives on Mars must become the greatest energy management society in human history. And with water comes something else. Fuel. Hydrogen and oxygen extracted from ice can power rockets. Methane can be synthesized from atmospheric CO2 using the Sabatier process. Mars becomes not a dead end, but a launch pad. A fuel depot for missions deeper into the solar system. A gateway to the outer planets. A stepping stone to Jupiter's moons, Saturn's rings, and beyond. Thriving on Mars means expanding past Mars, but what about storms? When a dust storm rolls across the land, swallowing the world in a wall of red. Martian storms can grow so massive they cover the entire planet. They don't carry hurricane winds, the air is too thin, but they block sunlight for weeks, shutting down solar power. Thriving means building infrastructure that can survive darkness. Colonies will depend on nuclear reactors, hydrogen fuel cells, thermal storage tanks, subsurface energy vaults. Because when the sky turns black and the storm lasts 50 days, you do not have the luxury of waiting. And then there is the human factor. Can people love on Mars, laugh, start families, raise children in a world with lower gravity, no oceans, no animals, and no natural sunlight? The answer depends on how much humanity is willing to change. A child born on Mars might be physiologically Martian. Their bones lighter, their body shape adapted, their muscles optimized for low gravity. They might never be able to return to Earth. Over generations, two human species could emerge: Earth humans and Mars humans. Thriving means embracing divergence. Civilization itself would evolve differently. Martian culture would be intensely cooperative. Survival depends on teamwork. Martian education would revolve around engineering, biology, robotics. Martian architecture would blend art and utility. Martian holidays might celebrate the first landing, the first crop harvest, the first child born on Mars. Life here would be hard, but meaningful. And after a century of settlement, Mars would begin to glow at night. Not from alien civilizations, but from us. Lines of light connecting underground cities. Greenhouses radiating warmth beneath ice. Domes shimmering with artificial skies. Robotic drones gliding across the plains. Mining rigs tapping into ancient ice fields. A world that once tried to kill us at every moment would become a world sculpted by human hands. And one day, centuries from now, humans may attempt the unimaginable: terraforming, warming the atmosphere, melting the ice caps, releasing greenhouse gases, growing forests of engineered plants, thickening the air, turning the red planet into a blue-green oasis. A dream so massive it sounds impossible. But every great human achievement was impossible until the day it wasn't. Can humans thrive on Mars? Not easily, not quickly, not without discipline, innovation, courage, and sacrifice. But yes, we can thrive, we can grow, we can build civilizations. in worlds that once tried to erase us. Mars is not a backup planet. Mars is the next chapter of humanity. Because thriving doesn't come from comfort. It comes from challenge, and Mars may be the greatest challenge we will ever face. If you're inspired by humanity's future among the stars, hit that like button and subscribe to the Mind Metrics. We explore the biggest questions about our universe, our future, and what it means to be human in an age of infinite possibility. Drop a comment below. Would you move to Mars if you had the chance? And what question about space exploration should we answer next? Remember, every impossible journey begins with someone brave enough to take the first step. Mars is calling, and humanity is finally ready to answer. Thanks for watching, and as always, stay curious. The universe is waiting.